All right, I am Hansom, and today we are going to learn how to replace the light seals and mirror cushion on a Canon AE-1. But before we get to that, I'd like to talk about the AE-1. This camera has a little place in my repair heart because this was the first camera I was trained on by my apprentice, R.I.P. Steve Wright. This is what he trained me on in the beginning. The first repair he ever showed me was light seals on an AE-1 and how to do the Canon cough. Pretty sure you've seen that video from me already. But he was the man. But back to the camera. This camera came out in 1976 and it took the world by storm. It was the first automatic exposure camera and it changed the game. It made Canon, and if I'm not mistaken, it was #1 most produced camera ever, if I'm not mistaken. 24 million or some crazy insane thing. Yeah, this camera is super cool. Hopefully Canon actually does something with it. Man, that'd be cool to get a digital AE-1. You know, you got the Nikon's got the Z F thing that looks like film. Then you got the Fuji crap, you know. But yeah, so let's get to it. Tools of the day are going to be yikup. You got the slanted scraper. You have the flat scraper. Then you have your trash curved tweezers that you use for light seals. Don't use these on digital cameras or other parts of wires and stuff like that. These are the garbage tweezers. Then we're gonna have a wooden scraper provided by the place I get my light seals, and good old broken tool scraper that fits in crevices. No name. Identifies as nothing. Then you're going to have your good old trusty razor blade. These can come in handy when life gets hard and all type of situations. So I use the razor blade mainly for shaving this guy. Yeah, that is definitely not in focus. So we are gonna get you in focus and then keep you, and then get them flat. Yeah, I mean flat so it fits in between the crevices. I'll show you, and you're gonna use a razor blade to cut your light seals. All right, let's hop right into it. All right, let's start with the mirror cushion since we're already here. See all this gunk right here? This is El Grosso. As you can see, that is just old crud that has deteriorated from basically horrible storing. If you put it in your garage, your basement, your attic, something that is not regulated with temperature, the light seals usually deteriorate and get all gunky and stuff like that. But basically the mirror cushion is pretty necessary if you want to save the life of your mirror because it's hitting metal. There is a chance it could break, but there's a chance it couldn't. We're going to replace that. And then, of course, the light seals. And light seals, let's explain what light seals are. Basically, it is foam within the film door and the camera to stop light penetrating to the film. Let's open this film door on this AE-1. For those of you that don't know, on the AE-1, the way you open up is communication. No, I'm just playing. So you're going to pull the rewind lever up. You're going to keep pressure on the camera with a finger. Doesn't have to be your middle finger. Could be any finger. Then you're going to pull up and bam, she opens. Just show you at another angle. Lift up and boom. So usually your film goes here. The canister goes here. Your film canister goes here. Film goes over here. Boom. And then you shut it. But there is an indention in the film door that sits in here. So there needs to be foam to stop the light to penetrate, because this opens up. Just put it in bulb. Then boom, it opens up and the light comes through the film, through the mirror box, and hits the film. You know, can you do two? You can. So, as you can, let's see if you can actually see this stuff. Yeah, there we go. See that? Right there. We get all of that. You saw that stuff fly out? It's pretty gross. But that's all light seal. So we are going to remove that and then lay new light seals. First and foremost, one thing I like to do on the cameras that I am able to, take off the film door. Some cameras, you can take off the film door always, sometimes some screws and stuff like that, but sometimes I don't want to mess up the leatherette. I don't want to risk this and that. So if it's easy, accessible, I take it off. And on the AE-1, it is very easy. So there is, on the actual film door itself, there is a lever towards 3/4 towards the top, with an indention that you basically pull down with your finger and remove. And what it does, see what it does? Yep. Eek. So, yeah, then you remove it. Just go ahead and set it to the side, because we will be eliminating this crud. Another thing that I like to do on light seals is I like to see where the original light seal stopped. Each camera is different, and honestly, I've seen AE-1s stop in different places, but the majority of the time, 92.7384 is going to be in the same spot. And on the AE-1, there is a little indention right here. You can see. Yeah, right there. And that's where they usually start. And then you go on these little curves. I'll show you how to properly lay those. I see a lot of people that buy the kit themselves online or on Amazon, and sometimes their light seals are sitting up here or right down on there or here. And they replace the light seals, they bring them in, and they're like, I still have light leaks. I thought I did it right. And that is going to be a negative, because you came back to somebody to do it. Then, of course, this is going to be the film counter resetter pin. I see a lot of people doing their own light seals and just going over this And if you do that, that's going to basically stop the frame counter from resetting, because that is what that is. And the film door, if you notice, sits like this. So when this is shut, that's pressed in and allows your frame counter to go and go. And then when you open the film door, boom, shoots back to 0. So yeah, what I do is cut and then boom and then go. And then we're gonna eliminate this, but let's get to it. Gotta do it like that. All right. So let's start scraping. Scrape, 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 scrape. Yeah, we scraping. Scraping for the resin. All right, we're gonna have to cut that one out. So, removing the old light seals may seem easy and tedious, but it is needed, because if you leave any debris behind, then the new light seals has a possibility to not stick. So what that means is you could close the film door and then it actually stick to the film door. Then when you open the film door next, yeah, you've ripped out the light seals. So I've seen that happen. I've seen a lot of different things happen with light seals. And all it takes is just even cutting it too short or too thin. If you cut it too thin for it to fit in here, then it'll still allow light to penetrate, which at the end of the day you don't want. I like to go over one time lightly after using the wooden piece. Yeah, so be scraping, boy. Oh man, let's do that again. Man. I was doing that. It's shaky. Let's get this wood piece back out. Man, you can be rough with the wood. You can use your wood and be rough and it won't even bruise. So one thing I like to do as well is just pay attention to the debris, because you can think you have everything out and then a piece of debris still stay in there. There's my air hose, or my hose. Going on, clean up this right here, yonder. See that? Light seals. My old mentor hated light seals, so when he taught me light seals and I learned, he was so happy, because he thought, well, he didn't think. It is dirty, as you can see, all this crap. And it literally gets all on your fingers. And he was a prima donna, He didn't like to get dirty. And I'm like, man, that's the name of the game with film cameras, and he did not like that. He was more of a digital guy. I guess that's because he grew up slaving over film cameras. So we keep scraping, and it looks pretty solid. Now we are going to take the curved scraper and going to scrape. I don't like to put too much pressure, but you can't be too light with it. After I take a coating down, I usually like to get some denatured alcohol. Make sure you use denatured alcohol. Don't use that isopropyl. I don't know. Denatured alcohol, and just hit it, you know. Get that at the top. See that? Being a little stubborn. Gross. Can't stop with the Tiki, 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 tiki. Oh, wow. So after a little bit of scrapage, a little bit of she's good. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and hit this thing real quick. Know what I mean? I like to hit this one time with that. So here's the thing about this. I am making it look a little simple, but to somebody that doesn't do this every day, I wouldn't use a metal scraper on here, to be honest. I would go ahead and use the wood. You have to be very mindful of that focusing screen. A lot of people don't realize if you touch that focusing screen, boom, it is a mark and you'll see it through the prism. Not on the film, but on the prism. You will see it. And on the AE-1, it is removing the top cover a lot on the prism. It's a lot to take off to get to that focusing screen. So be very mindful when you're doing the mirror box. Just scrape one time or two and then hit with the alcohol. I like to hit it. Remember, don't touch the focusing screen. Don't touch the focusing screen. That's the name of the game. Remember, don't wake daddy. Don't touch focusing screen. Don't touch the focusing screen. All right. Now that's good and clean. We need to get to cutting and laying. We're back. We're going to use 1.5 millimeters on the film door, and remember, plastic or wood board, right angle ruler. We are going to, and on the AE-1, there's a little, you're going to line up the size, and what you're trying to match is that, the width of that, what you see here. And once you have it lined up, pressure away from the edge because we're using a blade. Keep your pressure, and then one stroke, and let's see if she's worthy. And she is worthy. So we got the top, our bottom, and now we are going to do the top. Remember lining up, and you want it to be as straight as possible. Straight down. Let's see, that might be a little too wide now that I look at it, but we shall see. I think winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, we got that. Now we need the 2.0. That's my GPA. This is going to be for the mirror cushion. Of course, for the mirror cushion, you want a little thicker because you know what I'm saying? Some people do 2.5, some people do 3. At the end of the day, as long as there's cushion for the pushing, you're not going to break your mirror, okay? So, and I like to order my light seal stuff from uscamera.com. They actually sell kits too, and I've never used the kits. That's just because this is what I've been taught, and it's what I know, and that's just my decision. You can try their other stuff. They're really good people. Been ordering from them for 4 or 5 years. They actually sell tools and stuff there too. I don't buy many tools from them, but it is there. All right, so you will need a pair of scissors. I totally forgot my Fiskars. All right, Fiskars. Get those at Michael's or something. I just like the smaller ones, man. All right, so I always like to cut the tips. That's just personal preference. I like to use straight edge tweezers, and separate the seal from the adhesive as so. And then what you're gonna do is on these ends, I always do start right here. You want to start it right here because the strip you put right here is going to go inside of here and inside of here. I remember getting yelled at by Steve when I didn't do that, and he was very disappointed. Boom. So right there, you grab it, and you're going to set it straight down right there on that edge, remember? On that edge. And then you're going to grab on the outside of the foam and drop it in straight down. Nope, see that one hit on the side. Boom, boom. All right, so now we're coming up to the curve, and what I do is I push all the way through the curve, then press down and make sure it sits in. Go all the way here and then go down, all the way down, and then you're gonna finish out. That one kind of got caught, but you can straighten it. Boom, boom, boom. So then we're gonna come back and you're gonna cut it right. You're gonna cut it right there. You go. And then we're going to set it right there. Boom. It goes to right there. And then we have that set in there. Okay, so one thing I like to do is keep, so you remember you're going from here to there. And remember this piece goes right there. So I like to start it here. Boom, set it in. And then I go right to where the lever is and then cut. And then set it in. Boom. All right, so we have that. Now we're going to take this piece, always cut the tip like the bobbit. Remember, you're going to separate from the paper. Boom. See how that separated? Then you're going to pull. Then we're going to set it in straight down. You're going to put a little bit of pull, but not too much because you don't want to rip the foam. And then I like to grab this and hold it like that. And then set it in, grab and set. Sometimes doesn't want to. You have to guide it in with the tweezers, you know? Then you go all the way to the curve. You go all the way to the curve and then set all the way at the top. After you get to that curve and you get there, sometimes you can just set it in and it'll sit just like that. And then all you have to do is boom, 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 boom. And you remember where your cutoff line is, about right where that was. And cut and set. So we did that, boom. So one thing I like to do is I usually keep the leftovers. Like I said earlier, I use leftovers a lot. And I usually have some already pre-cut for the AE-1 to sit right there. But I always use the scraps, even these from the ones I just had, I'll keep. So what I like to do is put that right up there and then press there to give an indentation on where to cut, which is right there. And remember, you have to tuck right there. I'm going to take a little bit off of that. So once again, we release, we pull off. Then what I like to do is I like to set it up top and then tuck. And then you're able to pull with the tweezers and straighten it out. And then we are going to tuck. And we are all set there. We already cleaned and did that. And we cut this, so I like to just do a little measure, but I always cut it too long just to be safe. It's better to be bigger than smaller. That's what my wife told me. So You can always fit it with the paper still on, see if it fits. Yeah, it does. So we're gonna peel again. Separate. Gotta keep them separated. Right. I guess I just showed my age, right? And then you can just set this on in there. Boom. 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 And it sets in there, and you can see. Oh my gosh. Don't forget, clean this. The reason why I use 2.0 on here is because I don't like putting anything there, and I don't like having that. So I use my sideways scraper one time. Gonna get me some alcohol, rub it up on there, get me some more alcohol, and look how black that is. Ooh, it's so black. Just keep going till the black doesn't come. That's what the rich say, right? And of course, I always want to hit these too. Because sometimes there's old light seal stuff that is leaked on there. And then that'll pull the new ones off. And the way to check if your light seals are good, remember putting this back, I got a link. The way to make sure your light seals, what Steve taught me is if the door opens up automatically, when you pull this, you're good. Oh my gosh. So sometimes if it gets caught in it, or if you open it and it does that and it doesn't open, that means the light seals, you went too far here, too far there, it's catching here. It could mean multiple things, but that is the ultimate light seal test. Bam! And that is light seals with Hansom. I appreciate watching, giving me the time of day, but y'all care and you want to learn camera repair. Check out my other AE-1 videos and stuff to come, and have a positive day. Seriously, we all need positivity. We need to spread positivity in this negative world. All right. Peace.